Hey everybody, how are we this evening? I am bright and smiley and I've got lots of news to bring to you. I apologize for being off air for a little while, but I'll tell you what, it was worth every single minute. And at the end of the day, we've got some great news. But I am sitting in the show this evening. Sitting next to me is the lovely Roseann. How are we?
How I am wonderful. So happy to be on your show today.
We're happy to have you. And also a fellow, ISSI member and also fellow finalist.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes!
I'm so excited about that. I can't
I'm going
wait
to come on
get
to that.
to
I'll tell you what, everybody, I can't wait to share my news, okay? But we're going to share it together because at the end of the day, we were waiting for a whole long month. The month of April and May has been the longest month I've ever had in my life. Every morning, waking up, doing a post, begging for people to come and vote for me, being as inventive as I possibly can to get people's votes. And I can't even think the most craziest thing I'd done. I don't think I paid anybody. And I don't think I had any mobile phone parties. I didn't actually buy anything for Tammany this year. So I'm just trying to think what I done different because this year I actually made it to the final. So we are there. We are going to Atlanta, baby.
Yes.
So I am so excited. I just want to say a massive thank you on air to every single supporter of the ISSA, whether it comes to fans, whether it comes to family, whether it comes to our colleagues, I just want to thank you all for spending a long month with us, voting every day and basically sticking by us. And I hope we've entertained you this month in terms of new records, new releases, going out into festivals, finding ways to get your votes. We've tried really hard between us all. But we couldn't have done it without you. You are the reason why we are going to Atlanta. And we'd want to thank you all. It's a dream come true for myself, to actually get nominated in such a prestigious, competition, being able to go and see my friends over in the ISSA team, and also being able to be in a country where you never know, I might run into my sister, and that's like 15 years since we last saw each other. So, sis, I'm coming to Atlanta, okay? Don't know how close that is to Nashville, but you might be able to drive down and come and see me, okay? Hopefully win one of those amazing crystals. Oh, my God, those awards look gorgeous. They look absolutely
They
gorgeous.
are.
So that's one reason we've been off air. So I was talking to Roseann about the other reason why we've gone off air. So One Life Academy is gonna move in very quick directions. We are moving on to One Life Academy pilot scheme to One Life Academy community interest PLC. We are going to be a business run full time, and we are going to support the local community in both the north and the south of England and globally all over the world. We are going to bring the academy in every single part wherever we can to make sure all you indie artists have a platform to learn from the very best, just like Roseann, okay? The very best music industry artists are going to work alongside you one-to-one and help you master your craft of music and help you become just as amazing as all the other artists are, winning awards, going to award shows, having a big smile on their face because they're getting a plane to Atlanta, okay? Mixing up with some of the music industry's best artists doesn't just mean because they're independent artists they're not the music industry artists best. They are. At the end of the day, we've got a great group of people. Even Dolly Parton's cousin is in the independent music, and we were talking to my friend yesterday and talking to one of the students, learning from the 1970s that indie music has been going in the UK, and the likes of, the Clash and some of those great independent groups before they went into record labels were all independent. So it's an exciting time to announce that we are going full time. We are taking it into business, and we're very committed to supporting you. We have got a great team of 14. They will be introducing themselves very, very soon. And so you'll see every single one of the members, because they've been working hard behind the scenes to learn the 6 weeks lessons that they've got to teach, and also learn where they're going to fit in terms of the academy. And that's another piece of good news I've got for you, because I have convinced Imran from the ISSA team to put together a guitar online lesson to teach all you indie artists who are guitarists how to play just as good as what he is. Okay, so we have convinced him to finally stop doing all the YouTube videos, Imran, because we know what we like every single day when you wake up. Okay, playing to yourself. We need your wisdom out of your head. We want to teach our youngsters, and we want to teach people to play just like you. So Imran will be doing a course, and if you'd like to go on one of his courses, I know I'm going to go and buy my guitar from Cash Converters, because if anyone can teach anybody guitar, that'd be Imran. I'm really looking forward to that. So that's the other piece of news. I told you I had lots.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Absolutely had loads. And we have also been able to convince Lady Miranda to come and join the academy as well. So,
Wonderful.
that's a big move for us, because actually it does really help us, because for those who know Miranda personally, she does talk quite openly about her autism, and how it is impacted in the music industry by autism, and also how it is impacted over the world in terms of her autism. Everybody knows, in relation to myself, I have autistic sort of family members, but her expertise in the way she has crafted her music, got awards, and been given her confidence to be able to go and collect those awards and produce the most amazing music, is actually going to give us another dimension to the academy to be able to support those who suffer from neurodiversity, and give them a program where they can learn a craft of music. We do have the Danny's connection over in New York. And I'm sure when Ken and Danny get hold of the fact the academy has started and we have someone working on neurodiversity, the world is your oyster, as they say. Okay. So, absolutely amazing, amazing news. One last piece of news, and then we'll get on with the show this evening. I told you it was a cracker, everybody. Been quiet just for that reason. The last piece of news I have, as you've all seen on the internet, that me and Caden Gordon have been working behind the scenes. And no, it wasn't for votes. We didn't want to win your votes, okay? So when you see us join forces, it wasn't to try and get your votes. We are working together on each other's shows and programs to basically work a way in which both brands can be the very best they possibly can. So if you see my name on Caden Gordon's show and you see Caden's on my show, we're both working hard, because at the end of the day, independent industry, we don't work full time. We work part time on our projects, which is why I'll be glad when this comes over full time. I can actually get some sleep. But me and Caden have been working together. So in relation to what that looks like for Caden, is obviously it gives him some extra support and extra help. So thank you so much, Caden. I'm going on a billboard in Nashville. Wow, I'm excited. For the CMA Fest, my name is there right at the bottom in the right-hand corner, I think it is. Okay, so if you go to Nashville, sis, if you look right to the right-hand corner on the billboard, my name's there. So that's exciting news for everybody. But for Caden, it gives him an opportunity to join the One Life team. Initially, he was talking about being a tutor, but he's now going to concentrate on a project which is going to be really important to you guys out there as indie artists, okay? So we are going to cover as much of the globe as we can where it comes to PR and PR management, okay? So in France, we have Muriel, okay, from Web Image Designs, okay. She will support you international artists. She has 7 of her artists at the moment who she supports, as you know. And then we've got Caden Gordon over in America supporting his country artists and also other artists that he supports. And now we have added a bigger dimension to that the UK has also joined forces with France and USA by adding another agency called Sensational Sounds, who will join forces with us. So we have 3 agencies in 3 separate countries So it helps every single one of you to be able to feel confident in going over to a music agency, signing up and getting the support to get your amazing music out there and be supported by the industry's very best. Okay. And we are growing. This is how much we have grown in the last few weeks. Imagine what we can do by the end of the year, everybody. I'm really excited.
It's gonna
Hope
be
you are
amazing.
too. It is. So I'm out of breath after all that. I never ever get to 10 minutes. I normally only get to 5, but I had so much. I do apologize to you all that I've rabbited on for 10 minutes, but it was worth it. And if you go and rewind the show and you go right back to the beginning, I bet you find out some things that you're going to be really excited about.
Awesome.
Anyway, let's get on with the show, shall we?
All right.
First things first, I've got to apologize because I'm having a complete dyslexic moment. But then actually I got away with it because at the end of the day, I did actually spell Roseann's name wrong when I put up everything in terms of the bio and the connection to everybody. So if everybody's looking at the screen going, AJ's spelled a name wrong, I was like, yes, I did. I admit it. I haven't had time to correct it, but as Roseann actually hadn't told me off like most people do, I thought I might get away with it. So I have got away with it, but I do apologize. Roseann, welcome to the show. Welcome to the UK.
Thank you so much, Adrian. I'm so happy to be a part of your show today. It's really an honor. And we have such exciting news, all around. It's just wonderful, isn't it?
It is absolutely wonderful. And talking to some of our artists, we've gone through COVID. We are going through a really bad period of time with wars, with, politicians. I'm not going to mention politicians' names or anything on this show, but we're going through a really difficult time with lots and lots of changes throughout the world. But one thing that we are all seeing is a big pickup in the music industry in terms of the amount of people who are engaging, the amount of young bands who are going out and performing. And the music industry is picking up. Well, there seems to be a big sort of drive towards sort of the music industry in 2025. It's almost as though it's like a relief sort of thing. All the bad things, what's going around the world, and we're running out of money. But actually, the music industry is booming this year, and there's some great, amazing records coming out. Are you seeing the same, Roseann? Are you seeing a sort of a big change in terms of the amount of people who are joining in?
Well, with ISA, the International Singer-Songwriters, there's so many amazing artists out there. You definitely are seeing it through them. I've seen it a little bit in other areas, but not as much here. Things are still hard, to find the right venues and stuff like that. It's still hard since COVID. A lot of great venues had to shut down and they didn't reopen. And so that really hurt us in my area.
Definitely. And I wanted you to do that deliberately because there's a whole point of this month. I was trying to be upbeat. So the whole point of this month is, if you haven't seen it on the adverts, is we are supporting the Music Trust venue. Okay. And that is basically a commitment through, 3 Days of Wonder, who put the charity through, is to talk about this month about why is it that we're sitting in 2025 with so many places closing and so many venues are not being accessible for our artists. Why are we sitting here like when music is something that brings the world together? And and we've got to a place where we can't find venues. And why is it that I've just read today that even Ed Sheeran is writing to our Prime Minister saying, "Oi, what's going on? Leave our music venues alone. Stop closing us down. Stop stopping music festivals, and stop stopping the world of music from happening." So it is a big issue at the moment. I was being finicky when I was trying to be positive, but I didn't want to start on a negative. But that's what we're here for this month, and it has changed. We will discuss that throughout the show. What I want to do with you, Roseann, is I want to sort of go through your music journey, ask you a few questions, and then we're going to find out a bit from the Music Trust, because it's one that I knew a lot about, but I didn't spend a lot of time with in terms of my career. And I think it's because I was very blessed in the 80s in the 90s, with the culture of music always being around me and never a worry that it's going to disappear. So, I didn't need it when I was singing in my youth, whereas today the youngsters are going out and basically going with the music trust to try and save their venues, so it's a different day and a different age. But for yourself, I want to take you back a bit before we talk about the music trust in your career with a few questions, if that's okay.
I'm ready for you.
Brilliant. Okay, so your debut album, and we're going to play this song very soon. It's called Love Took the Indie. It's called Love Took the Love. Called
It's
Love.
called
Love
Love is
Took.
the album.
It's called Love. That's it. That's the album. I'm trying to get my tongue around it. That's why.
That's
Why choose
okay.
an album with such a tongue twister? And that was in 2019. You've had sort of many singles since then. But,
Yes.
right back to there when you first wrote that first song of yours, what was on your mind about where your journey was going to go in the music industry?
Well, at the time, yeah, I was still recovering from an auto accident, subsequent fusions on my spine. I was in a wheelchair, and it was the most difficult, dark time in my life. And thank God I had a second chance. And It's Called Love was birthed out of that second chance. I was in a wheelchair. My physical therapist, Nina, is a very close friend of mine. And she brought me over to her home that she would always have concerts in her home to cheer me up, because you know that music not only is universal, but it heals. It truly heals your
It does.
spirit.
It really
It
does.
heals. And so she brought me over and to hear a singer-songwriter for a course that she was doing. And they put a guitar in my hand and they told me to find a new sound. And mind you, I was very medicated, and you know, it was not something that I thought I could do. But when she did that and I started playing some chords, all of a sudden I heard do 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 this melody come to my head, and that's how It's Called Love was birthed. And
Brilliant.
and from then that day on, it really it ignited a fire in my soul. You know that, oh my
Brilliant.
God, I can still be creative even though I'm flat on my back and stuff like that. And I wrote the whole album flat on my back. With my guitar. All these songs came and
Upside
it
down.
gave me hope.
Okay, I don't know if you're watching this evening, Tammany Dove, but everybody takes a mickey at me when I use the word bath. I don't know what it is. I think it's a British thing because we were talking about rubber duckies in the bath, and I'm really not sure where that come from, Tammany. I was trying to think of it today when we were talking about that and what the discussion was and why we got onto rubber duckies in the bath. But writing an album on your back is quite an amazing thing to do. You didn't have an iPad in 2019. You must have had pen and paper. And with a pen
Yeah.
upside down and then the ink running out, that must have been absolutely impossible to write, especially being in pain on your back. It must have been, or did it keep you very strong knowing
It,
that you were writing such a masterpiece?
it gave me strength. It was very difficult, and actually, I wrote the actual song in 2000. I think it was 2014 or 15 is when it came out. Just the single. It took me 4 years to record it, um, but it was difficult. But it inspired me. It gave me hope that I would walk again. The Lord just gave me all these songs that it when I write or anything musical, it just lifts my spirit, and it gave me
Brilliant.
something to focus on other than the agony, the sheer agony I was in.
Bless you,
And
bless you.
it was just amazing that I could even write the stuff down, being so heavily medicated because of the pain. And so it saved me. It truly saved
Brilliant.
me. The music saved me
That's lovely to hear.
because I was
So lovely
quite
to hear.
despondent.
It
You
really
know,
is lovely to hear. So, everybody, I think the moral of the story is rather than going in the drawer for some paracetamol, get writing another song because you're going to
that's
hear
right.
yourself more than the paracetamol. Okay. So, drug companies out there on YouTube, I apologize that we've now solved the riddle that we don't need your antibiotics and medication. We are actually going to just write a song and we'll be all better. We'll be walking, we'll be and no pain whatsoever just by the power of music. I do believe that as
Yes.
well. But it's all that moved on in terms of when you wrote the song, because it sort of won awards on a music video as well, didn't it?
It did in 2015, and that was a milestone. It was my first day on that I was able to be up most of the day. I had to have a zero gravity chair, to recline because I could only be on my feet so long. I'm going to write that song about the zero gravity chair, me and my zero gravity chair someday. Um, but it
Didn't
was
know you'd
truly
done comedy
magical.
music. That's
Yeah.
not gonna that's gonna be great. The zero
Me
gravity,
and my zero
you know.
gravity, because that was the only way I could get anywhere. But
I think you should write that down. I don't know about you out there in Facebook, YouTube, and X. Those of you who write songs, we all come up, and that's everybody's ringing now because they're all having great ideas.
yeah.
To come up with new ideas for new songs, like Roseann's doing tonight. The zero gravity chair. But write it down. Because it may be an absolute great hit, and someone may be actually thinking, actually, I'm sitting in a zero gravity chair. This song is all about me. But no, you've got to release that. It'd be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, so I'll have to get on that one. But yes, I was so excited because it was very well received, and it did very well. We won 7 awards. Film festivals loved it, and of course, all the DJs in Europe and all around the world, and my promoters did a wonderful job. And to this day, it still resonates. People love that song, and they love the video because it was, it was so pure. I didn't want to make, some real, the kind of the mainstream videos, because that's not who I am. And I wanted to, the song is about pure love, the longings of one's heart and finding pure love. And
Fantastic.
it's very special to me. And it was my first contemporary jazz. It's not a straight jazz, of course. It was my first time writing that kind of song. I always wrote love songs, and I continue to write love songs um, because that's my thing. Love. I like to share
I'll tell
love.
you
And
what. I'll tell you what. I'm glad you're saying that. Me and Vanessa were having this exact conversation yesterday, and I'll tell you what. Vanessa's sitting on the sofa because she's waiting for the quiz at the end because she loves the quizzes. But we were talking about this last night. When she grew up, she was very much into grunge and rock and things like that. Typical South African teenager. And I was talking about boys to men and love songs, and I got the word when I was talking about that type of music. So Roseann does love music. Vanessa, she loves love music. Look, she's on her phone. She won't acknowledge me. Typical sitting on the phone. But she has been on the train all day, haven't you? And you deserve it.
that's
Three
right.
days traveling
Oh,
on a train.
boy.
3 days. Bless you. Okay, we'll sort you out with some wine in a minute. Okay. There you go.
That'll
Thumbs
help.
up. She's happy now. She's happy now. That will help. Anyway, let's get back to Roseann. In terms of like bringing you straight into sort of 2024, 2025, your collaboration work with artists has been a significant part of your music journey. So going from sort of where you started to where you are now, you're collaborating with so many artists. I look on ISSA, and that's what I absolutely love, seeing the collaboration of artists. But, particularly for Hanging On for Love, in 2024, you were collaborating with artists then to produce an absolutely amazing track. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, I have a wonderful arranger, a pianist, a musical arranger, co-producer, Pete Levin, who was on my album. He's been with me from the beginning journey when we started recording. It's called Love. I was blessed to find him. He's a very acclaimed artist himself and pianist. And we were in a crunch for getting music out, and because of my day job, I'm a hospice nurse. I wasn't able to, like write a song and then get a whole full band in, and um, so we went through my catalog, and he said, let's just pick one of your songs off your album. It didn't get, with COVID and everything, it didn't get the push that it really needed. And so we chose this song, Hanging On for Love, and we decided to remake it. And Pete is a master at everything. And he's part of my dream team. And he came up with a wonderful arrangement. We would go through, I sang it to him. I said, I wanted to have a real good flow, a little, make it poppy. And so then we just went back and forth, and we put it together, and we released it, and it's done great. I mean, I'm going to the ISO Awards. I'm going to the red carpet show, and
I've got to ask you, Roseann, I'm going to pay you a compliment. We talked about, and we won't tell everybody your age, because I think that's really cool, especially on a live. But you did call me your age, but that doesn't look like you on that picture. That was an amazing picture you got done. Where did you get that done? Was that a professional picture?
Yeah, that's my hairstyle, and I don't mind saying my age because I'm very proud, and I always want to shine a light in everything I do. And I'm 65 years old. I just turned 65.
Yay, there you go,
November.
everybody. I'm so, phew, I didn't have to say it. There you go, Tammy. I got away with it. I didn't have to say it. It's very rude for a man to ask a woman her age, especially at the lovely age of 65 years old. I got away with it. So thank you for saying it yourself.
Yes, and that was from 2015, that picture. And when I perform, I don't look like this. I'm in my casual look today. And but I like to inspire people because I never give up. And people are like, well, you're too old to follow your dream, and this and that. And I believe that you're never too old. Every day's a gift. And, God gave us, he implanted things in us to do, and he gave us a heart desire. And I believe, I don't care what age you are, you have to fulfill your life's dream. And this is my life's dream, is to be able to perform and to create music, to collaborate, and to reach my goals. I mean, and getting nominated, that's a very big goal for my career.
Fantastic.
And I'm
so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that in that way. You youngsters, you watch out, okay? Because I tell you what, even at the tender age of 65, we've got artists who are older. We have got artists in every single generation when it comes to music. And I think in terms of creating music, it's one of those industries, not like a sport. You can be at the end of your age group, but you can produce just as much amazing music as what the youngsters can, and I think it's absolutely wonderful that, we see so many artists like yourself, who continue to come up with some amazing music. And we will be doing this on the Academy, okay? We're not just going for the younger generation. If there is anybody out there who is inspired by Rosann's story this evening, and you want to get back into music and you actually want to continue producing great music, there is ways in which you can get support to keep yourselves going in the music industry. You may not be able to get up those stairs anymore and go and perform on like large stadiums gigs, but you will be able to produce award-winning music, which is going to be played for you right next. Okay, so remember that little story tonight, okay? Because Roseann is a fine example of the amazing music which is being produced by all genres and all age groups, okay? So let's play it because I'm really looking forward to it, okay? So here we go. Here we go. It's called Love, everyone.
Here we go. Everywhere I go, there you are. Everywhere I turn, Well, I can't fight this feeling in my heart. No, I can't explain this feeling. It's called love. But every time I get the fever, I get lost. Love, how I've waited for you oh so long. And love, I'm ready to surrender. Take hold. Everywhere I turn, the echoes of your presence fill my heart. Every time we touch, I taste the kiss of heaven in my soul. Yes, I do. So love, you've got my attention. Be bold. And love, I'm giving you permission. Take me home. Take me home. Love, look at what you've done. I've heard every word you've spoken. Our lives have just begun. I give my heart without measure. I'm in ecstasy. Love, sweet release. Oh yeah, love, sweet release. Do 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 do. So love, got my attention and love, I give you permission. Oh, use your discretion. Love, I'll never let you go. Oh, no, 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 never let you go. Never let you go, my love. 'Cause every time we meet, every time we touch, it's sweet love. Every time you speak, you knock me to my knees. I breathe love. It's called
Let's bring everybody back. Absolutely amazing, lyrically, vocally, and an absolute blend of genius. You put it in your bio in relation to the way in which you can mix your music and go from genre to genre. For the amount of time that you have been doing music sort of professionally and sort of rewriting your music, things like that. OMG, you know, what could be achieved in those years as a testament to you. An amazing voice that you've got, but also a testament to those producers that are helping you to produce such great music.
Yes,
absolutely amazing. Loved it.
I produce all my music myself. I have co-producers that help me out. My team, Pete and Scott, because I just love producing too. Yeah, they really taught me a lot for that.
And to go through so many different genres of music as well, you're never scared to go one way or another when it comes to a genre of music. Is there anything that's made you think, I can't, I'm not going to do that? I mean, you know, a bit of rap. Would you go into the rap industry?
Now, I always say I said, I can sing anything. You can give it to me. I can learn it. I can sing anything. The only thing I don't want to do rap. But if Snoop Dogg calls me tomorrow and says, "Listen, Roseann, I need your voice on this song," you know what? I'm going to do it. I'll do it because I'm up for anything. I'm not into rap, and but if an
You've just said the
opportunity,
complete wrong thing, Roseann. I'll tell you
no,
what,
but
I'm going to do something that I said I was going to do when I first started my podcasting, that I wanted to be a Simon Cowell. I wanted to have a buzzer and stop the program. So I am going to buy myself one, because this is a great opportunity to throw down the gauntlet of the One Life Challenge. So Rosanna has never seen One Life. She has never seen any of our episodes, but there's certain points throughout the show that we stop the show when we hear something of interest that provides us with a One Life Challenge, which helps our charity of the month or helps the charities which are connected to our guests. So actually, Roseann, you've just given me the greatest idea forever. One of our Academy members, Aaron Smith, is actually into amazing rap music. He is a rap artist. He's just moved from Philly over to Atlanta to pursue his lifelong journey into being the best, almost like a Will Young, wanting to move into the rap type music. So he's basically come from Philly over to Atlanta. He is working in the academy. He is Dimitri and Imran's student. He has just produced the most amazing single with Imran, who basically wanted a combination of rock and also rap. And between them, within 30 minutes, came out with the best single I've ever heard in my life. So at the end of the day, it can be achieved. So the One Life Challenge is for Roseann and also Adam to produce something for us in One Life for a charity of their choice. And I'm going to get them to work together because I'm excited about this. So when I was joking around saying Roseann can do everything, she surely can. You watch what she comes out with. It's going to be very special, everybody. It's going to go to the award show and it's going to blow everybody's mind, okay?
Amazing. That's great. Well, I also, my fans were going to be very surprised because I just got out of the studio on the 5th and completed my final vocal for my first real country song, Back to My Heart.
Oh, wow.
I will be releasing
How
that.
do you do it?
It came to me. It just came to me sometime. Of course, I went through a heartbreak, and that song helped me heal. So it's about love, of course, but it's about embracing love, even if it doesn't work, to celebrate that you were blessed to have that kind of a love for whatever time that you had it for. And basically, so it's a breakup song, but it's not a breakup song. It's, more of like, I'm grateful that we had that love. So I'm very excited for that.
I love all this love in the air today. Love to everybody, okay? Love to everybody.
Love.
However, probably in the challenge, I think we should get Roseann away from the topic of love. I think there should be another topic to do something else.
Yes. Lead with love. I always say lead with love. Yeah. Well, lead with love. Really that'll be my post for that. Lead with love. Here, donate to this.
Yeah. We will work out something. Anyway, let's get serious. Let's get back to the program that we are here for. We are here for supporting charities, okay? We are here to support the Music Trust. And I think it's really important that we do have a bit of a sensible conversation. AJ doing sensible is like AJ winning the lottery. Doesn't happen that often. So in relation to being sensible, yes, we will be sensible. And we are now 39 minutes into the program and we are getting faster into the time when we're going to have to say goodbye. But at the end of the day, we've still got lots to go through. So we are going to talk charity. We are going to talk about the Music Trust. We're going to learn a bit about them and put a video up from the Music Trust. And just so we get to know a bit about what they're doing and the importance of their support to the music community. And we'll also find out a bit about yourself, Roseann. You mentioned right at the beginning about being a nurse, about supporting is it palliative care that you support?
I'm a hospice nurse. Yes, I support, and I'm a
Hospitalist.
senior advocate. That's a big part of my life.
Oh, brilliant.
Seniors and
Fantastic.
vets, they're my heart. And
Brilliant.
so, I have
So
an
we'll learn a
initiative.
bit. We'll learn a bit about that as well after we do the music trust. We'll learn a bit about that as well, and we're going to ask Roseann to be our advocate. For that particular group, we're going to get some information from her. We're going to put it on the One Life Trust, and we're also going to help her sort of get that information out to everyone else because that's what we're here for. So, in relation to the Music Trust, while I find the video for the Music Trust, I'm going to get Roseann just to basically tell us a little bit more about her advocacy while I get the Music Trust video. So, can you tell us a bit about sort of what the advocacy means and how do you do that and how do you get time to do it when it comes to music?
Well, I try to make a time. My patients always come first, of course, but I always, going to my representatives, I go to events, I meet representatives, and I try to get them to do initiatives for our seniors. I try to find out, what programs are out there that can help, because a lot of shut-ins especially, and the families don't know where to get supplies for the house. I do strictly home care. So, and so I find out we have wonderful organizations here, RCAL and different, the food banks, and they have some things here, but not a lot. But the initiative that I want to start this year is going to be to make sure that every shut-in, that each county would have supplies, specifically for when the in the winter here can be very bad. And in the summer, when the electric goes out, these seniors are freezing, they need to have a generator. So I'm going to do shows, and I'm going to raise money and make sure that everybody in my county has generators. Of course, there's liability. So there's a lot of red tape in anything when you're doing it. So that's a big project that I'm going to be doing this year. But I'm constantly advocating, helping families to connect with home care workers, because we are in a tragic crisis. I cannot find enough staffing for any of the home care. So I'm constantly trying to help everybody I can. They call me, and I'll try and get aids for them. And that's a free service. That's just part of my ministry, and to the seniors. And, and I'm on call 24 hours for my patients. And so I just try to help anyone in need, whether it's the homeless.
You're an amazing woman.
It's my heart. I was raised that way. My mother did the same thing. She wasn't a nurse, but, she was a nurse's aide before she passed for many years. And we've just always been focused on the needs of others. And
fantastic. There you go.
So
Judges, if you are listening over in Atlanta and you are counting your votes, these aren't stories that basically are trying to win votes. These are your artists in your ISSA telling you about what they do away from music. So they are finding time to create for you fans the very best music, the very best festivals, the very best albums, but their day-to-day jobs behind the scenes. We have some amazing members, and I take my hat off to all those amazing members who are helping all those charities, so as I'm absolutely well done for all the hard work that you give. And you are quite right, even in the UK we are losing so many staff members because we're unable to pay them. We are losing so many lives because we do not have the capacity to support them. And whether that is elderly, whether that is young, is going on around the world. And hopefully one day that money which is being spent on things that not necessarily need to be spent, it's given back to the people who desperately need it, like yourself. So well done for keep doing all the work that you're doing. And anything that you do, please share it with us at One Life, because we'd love to see that project But let's get back onto the Music Venue Trust. Let's find out all about them, because I'm excited and we're going to be supporting them this month. We have 10 great artists supporting you. Let's find out what they're all about, everyone, shall we? This is the Music Venue Trust.
Hi, I'm Frank Turner.
Hey, we're Nova Twins.
Yo guys, how's it going? This is Lucas from Old Absence.
Hi, I'm Sarah Gosling. I'm from BBC Introducing and Radio X.
Hello, I'm Brad Reynolds from Ed Shikari.
My name is Bobby, and I'm one half of the greatest punk band to ever come out of Britain, Bob Villain.
Hey guys, I'm Daniel from Koala, and I'm Jim from Koala.
Hello, I am James from the band James and the Cold Gun.
Hi, I'm Steve Lemack. I'm one of the patrons for the Music Venue Trust and a gig goer of 43 years standing now. So I know, trust me, the importance of these local live venues.
If you didn't get the memo, grassroots venues are basically the best places in the country, and they're in massive danger of diminishing.
At the heart of every community is a music venue, a safe space for people to come together and play music and have a good time.
Without Music Venue Trust and without it, like grassroots independent venues, we really do not see any of the major artists you see in the world today. They all started playing in small venues.
It can't be experienced on a streaming platform, and it can't be felt through a YouTube video. It can only truly be appreciated in the environment it was crafted for.
We're so proud to be a part of the Music Venue Trust.
I support them because they work their socks off to protect the infrastructure that gives our little corner of culture a place to exist.
So please consider standing with us to protect and improve UK grassroots music venues.
Fantastic. That is who we are supporting, everybody. And it's so, so important to everybody. Just to let you know, 3 Days of Wonder were working as hard as they could at the weekend in a local gig to basically have a packed sellout crowd with the Ultraviolets to be able to raise money for the Music Venue Trust. It means so much to our younger generation to have venues where that they can play, but not just the younger generation, every generation of music, musician needs a place to go and play. We don't want to become a digital world. We do not want to become a world where basically we're sitting in our home studios. We want to play live for you. We want to have everybody play music out in the streets. It's a scary time that we're going through. And the Music Venue Trust, we promise you over at One Life, we will do as much as we can to raise awareness for you. Roseann's already talked at the beginning of the show about the fact that it is very true where she is. The venues are going, the musicians are going, and we don't want to get into that dark place where it's just all going to become like it worries me, especially with AI, Roseann. I get really worried about where we're heading. If all these venues close down, festivals, there's not enough money for them. What the music industry is going to look like for our next generation in terms of the next 10 years. Where do you think it's going to go?
It's really up in the air. I don't know where it's going to go. I'm praying that it's going to thrive, that it will start to thrive, and that people will start to not believe, but, to take the chance and to really fight for it, because the beautiful venues that were around in our area and stuff, and we still have a few really great ones and that support all the artists, and they want it there. They want great music. The people need to go out and listen to, great music as well. But there's a lot of fear. I believe there's a lot of fear because they've lost so much because of the COVID. And really, COVID is not gone. It's really rampant still. And the neurovirus is just as bad, if not worse. Mm-hmm. So
people are worried.
Yeah, but people, so they're getting sick. But the venue owners, it's just tough. With inflation, just our whole world is changing. So I think it's slowly, coming back. But I don't know. I'm praying that it's gonna just start booming.
We don't want it, and we're fighting it. As artists, we're all fighting it. You know, we want to play on stages. We want to play in live venues. You know, me and my partner love going to a good gig at a weekend and having fun in life. You know, we've worked a hard week, but we want to go down to the local spinning wheel and basically go and have a bit of a jam, which Vanessa loves to call it. You know, going out and having a bit of a dance. You know, enjoying our night, enjoying our weekend. You know, so Music Venue Trust. You know, thank you for all the work that you've done. You've been doing this work for many years, absolutely many years. We've seen the people you're involved with Radio X, Radio 1, BBC Introducing, you know, all the major radio stations around around United Kingdom, and all those musicians that you work with to try and make sure music venues continue to remain in the UK. And, you know, it's a great honour to support you. So 3 Days of Wonder, a great charity to be able to put over to One Life. If you want to donate to the Music Venues Trust, please go to their website. There is a donation page on the website. I will put the link up tonight after the show. And please go there. You know, if you can't donate, and if you've not got the capacity to donate, do me a favour. Just share it with all your friends and family, okay? You know, we can reach, even in the ISSA, 18,000 people can know about the Music Venue Trust tonight. Yes, that's not a donation, but those 18,000 people who now are made aware of the Music Venue Trust, there's going to be someone out there who are going to save the likes of those venues being closed down. So share, or if you can, please donate. It would be absolutely amazing. So just a quick shout out, because we have had someone join us, as you can see on your screen.
Yes.
I don't know if you can see it. The amazing Dimitri.
Yay! Who I am hoping to get squeezed in to do a collaboration with, by the way.
I'm sure he'll squeeze you in. I'll talk to him. I'll have a chat to him in his ear. Dimitri, welcome to the show this evening. I hope you are still listening to the show this evening. We have got people watching the show, which is absolutely great. I never know who's watching. I always only get numbers. It'd be really lovely if they created a system which gives us names. So if you can hear me and you are watching the show this evening, like Dimitri, please come and say hello. You know, I don't bite. I'm not sure about Roseann, but I definitely don't bite. So, you know, please come and say hello to us. But, you know, basically, Dimitri's sending a lot of love. Yes. Dimitri, I don't know what. I think the emojis went the wrong way round, because you've sent love to Roseann and you've sent me a kiss. So I think you've got them the wrong way round, Dimitri. Look, I'm going to show everybody. Look, there you go. Dimitri's just sending out kisses to me.
That's okay.
I love Dimitri.
Yes,
he loves all of his ISA family, he's saying. So he is listening.
He is. And he says, I tell you, he was the best. He welcomed me so much for my first time ever going to the International Singer-Songwriters last year. It was my first year that I attended. And he just was amazing. Everybody was amazing. I mean, that organization is just stellar, and everybody is just welcoming, and everybody lifts each other up. And that's what we need in this world. We need to help each other to rise. And back to your charity, if you don't mind.
Look at hang on quickly before we go to charity. Let's get to this really important news. Dimitri has said that he will do the collaboration with you. There you go.
Hallelujah!
I thought you'd like that idea.
I'm sorry, I'm on an interview. I'm sorry. I don't know. I turned my phone off, but it rang anyway. I love this bit. Hang on a minute. We always do this on the show. You've missed it because you don't watch the shows. We like to embarrass people, and you've missed some cracking things which have happened during our shows. And Dimitri is going to laugh at this moment. Who was that? Who phoned you? No, did he phone me? No, it was it was one of my cases. Somebody was.
It was one of you. Oh, do you know what? Normally we can get away with it, but tonight everybody can't get away with it.
Someone you didn't even know did it for you. See that?
We've had some cracking shows. We have had gardeners interrupt an interview, and we have basically had the musician basically shout outside the window, "Do you mind? I'm on an interview." And it was cracking. We just got the gardener to come and introduce himself on the show. We've also had parents who have also sort of put their heads around like this on the interview. So we've called the parent in. I was going to embarrass the person on the phone, but as it's one of your clients, that's probably not the best reason to do it.
No,
Anyway,
no.
go back to the charity. Let's get back to the charity then.
But I wanted to say about the charity. It's a wonderful charity. I want to remind people because I find that, I mean, we're all struggling in some way. And every dollar, and this is what people are, they don't want to give like $2 or whatever, everyone can find $2 or, don't have your Starbucks today for $5 and you can give that. I encourage people to do that. A lot of people think, oh, that's not enough to give. No, even $1. You get 18,000 people to give $1.
Definitely.
That. So I encourage everybody to be bold because every dollar counts.
It does.
For charity.
Thank you for saying that in such a lovely way. And in terms of the swear box, I think I might put that on the side this month and remind Vanessa. I'll see if she's looking. She's still throwing her phone. I've got away with so much tonight. She hasn't heard anything. It's absolutely brilliant. She's going to be writing the show and play it later. And she'll be like, oi! I totally agree with you. Every penny counts. 50p, $1. We used to do that when we were young. We've gone away from doing it. I see the national lottery figures that you can win 9.5 million every single week. However, we don't seem to be wanting to put £1 or 50p in the local box as you go past.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of people who are standing there, like shaking their tins outside the supermarkets, and everyone just walked past with a stern look on their face going, oh, I'm sorry, not today. I've got to go. And then they go into the local supermarket and give to the national lottery because there's a chance 1 in 1 billion that they're going to win 9.5 million.
Yeah.
I think to myself, what's gone on in this world? Why do we still shy away? Because, we've got cards rather than coins. And it's like, come on, guys, we can still do this. We need you to do this. We need to keep, those spirits up and putting, the odd dollar in here and there. So if you're listening to this tonight, please do so, especially for the Music Venue Trust, because it's about us. It's about us artists. Okay. So if you're going to donate anything, donate for us artists. Okay.
I agree, 100%, wholeheartedly.
Brilliant. Okay, so let's go.
I do that for all my charities. I do missionary work as well. So, and I know that 50 cents goes a long way. So
we've already heard about your 50 cent. We've already heard about your 50 cent experience. Okay, you're not getting 50 cents because we can't afford him. You're getting Adam. So we can afford. Okay, at One Life.
$2.
Okay, I can't afford to get 50 cents to come and be on your song. That's a bit of an impossibility unless you're listening 50 cents and you want to come over and actually help out.
Oh yeah,
that'd be absolutely great. Before we go on. Oh, that'd be great. It'd be absolutely fantastic. Before we go on to, doing the quiz this evening, we start wrapping things up. Let's celebrate the fact that over the last 5 years, you have had some amazing honors when it comes to your songwriting, the videos, the songs and things like that. You've done amazingly well. The Grammys, the Elites, ISSA awards. So much in such a short period of time just shows how much of a powerhouse you really, really are when it comes to the music industry. Which one's been your favorite?
What's of my music, or
out of the awards, out of all the awards that you put yourself forward for and all been nominated for?
Well, of course, ISA is my favorite. The International Singer-Songwriter has a very special.
There you go, Tammy. We've got it on the show again. Okay, we'll send a check later.
And but when I was considered, Your Smile was the first song of mine, and it was a collaboration with my good friend David Howard, who we met online because we're on the online stations. You chat. You have a chat, and when your song's being played, you got to go on the .com thing, and you meet all these wonderful artists. And Dave and I enjoyed each other's music, and he loved my versatility, and so he sent me a guitar lick, and he said, "Ro, can you, put lyrics to this song?" And that happened during COVID, and then that song got Grammy considered. Now, one of my dreams is to receive a Grammy. And so I would have to say, besides ISA, that was like the pivotal moment to even be considered. And I found out later that it was an ISA member who had submitted it. And I didn't even know this person. He just loved the song. And John Fargus. Anyway, that was a big deal. But every single nomination, every award that recognizes my artistry, they're all dear to my heart, because it shows that my artistry is growing and that people are recognizing my music and who I am as an artist. And that is what we all want as artists. We want to be recognized for the works that we create. And I'm just blessed that the Lord's opened all these doors for me. So,
do you know what? You've had an amazing career. You know, you've amazing opportunities. You've worked with some amazing people, and you're still going to continue. You know, at the end of the day, it's not stopping here. You've got many things coming up for the rest of the year, and even a collaboration with Dimitri as well.
Yeah,
you know,
finally.
I think in relation to moving on with the show, we do have another one of your songs. The song is called Hanging On for Love. I'm hanging on for the time that I get presented my lovely trophy over in Atlanta. Tammy,
yes,
if you're listening, I'm hanging on. I've got my hands ready to come and collect it. I don't know about the speech, but you know,
I'm already dreaming of it. I'm dreaming.
I'm dreaming of it as well, definitely. So, but
well,
we're not just hanging on for that moment that we go onto the stage. We're hanging on for love. Why was this written? What was it all about?
Hanging on for love was a longing of my heart, and I'm single now, and I'm hanging on for love. So, but for pure love. So I will hang on as long as it takes to get the right one. And but yeah,
I love one life.
I just I wrote that, and I just wrote it from my heart, and it was what I wanted. And it was what I was feeling. A lot of my songs are, just from my emotion, from my life experience. It could be a story. It could be, anything that would spark a creative process. But that's the longing of my heart.
Dimitri, Tammy, if we see Roseann around the campfire the award show for too long, about 2:00 in the morning, can we get her back into her room? Okay, she's hanging on for love. She's looking for a man. There's 18,000 members in the ISSA.
That's
don't
right.
know how many people are going to the award
those
show, but I'm sure this is going to be one weekend we're all not going to forget. Okay, so for all those ISSA male members out there, Rosann's hanging on for love, and the ISSA party. Maybe just where she finds it. Let's listen to the song.
You never know.
Here we go.
Hanging on where love will find you. So, thank you.
There's a burning in my heart where a dying ember glows, crying out for love deep within my soul. Reaching out for happiness, just waiting for you. 'Cause I'm hanging on for love, a love that will endure. Hanging on for love with a passion just for you. When I look into
on, right? Okay, absolutely beautiful. I tell you
Thank
what,
you.
I love the saxophone. Was that someone actually live playing a saxophone?
Live, a
Wow.
very acclaimed sax player, Jay Collins, and I am blessed to have the most amazing musicians backing me on my projects that are all touring musicians, and they tour with very famous people, but they live in my valley. So when I have to schedule things when they're off a tour, but I'm really blessed. I have used Jay before on other projects. On Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, he did it. He's an amazing musician, and of course Pete Levin.
Sure.
He does everything.
I'm so jealous. You know, at the end of the day, I'd love to have a saxophonist next door to me. I'd like literally knock on the door, say, "Can I borrow some coffee and your saxophone? Can you come and play a saxophone on one of my singles?" It's just one of those instruments. I'm one of these people who, I don't have a band. I do a lot of my stuff digitally. Occasionally, I will get live artists come and play on one of my singles. The saxophone is something that I'd absolutely dream about having played live. Just a combination of your vocals, his saxophone, the song meaning, the lyrics. It's just magical. I think the saxophone is still one of those instruments that just makes every song in the world amazing when it's being played throughout a track.
I agree, and I don't have a steady band to, it's hard because I have to assemble from all the mix of artists, whoever's around when my shows are. So I have to schedule. I don't do a lot of shows because of that, but now I have so many people that I can draw from, thanks to Isa, and meeting all these amazing other artists that I could use in different areas in the UK, wherever, because I want to tour all over the world. And but I can hook you up. I have a lot of great artists that they send their track.
I would love that. I would love that.
Send the track, and they'll send you the track back, and that's it.
Brilliant. There you go. There's a little bit of a one live challenge for AJ. The next single that he produces must have a saxophone in it, so that'd be absolutely fantastic. So we are going over the hour mark. I apologize, but we have had such a great show this evening. We have found out so much, and we're arranging so many amazing things for One Life. We are going to start to wrap it up. We are going to get to our quiz this evening, because this is the moment where you, the audience, can support the Music Trust and get your pennies out, and also go to their website. So if you get any of these questions wrong, out of 10, remember it comes out of your pocket, okay? In relation to our artist, we will give her a $2 fine for any questions that she gets wrong, and she will be paying $2 to the Music Foundation Trust as well, okay? But we say $2 in jest. At the end of the day, it's up to what you give into the Music Trust, but please be giving generously and also encouraging your friends and family to do so also. So this one's a bit of a fun quiz tonight, because it's a combination of 5 questions and also 5 music clips. So as we're coming up to the awards, we should all know each other's music. Or do we? Do we know each other's music, really? Do we listen to ISSA every day in the car, as Tammy says? She tells us that we have to listen to ISSA radio, and are we really listening to it as we're going to work and sitting on the toilet? I don't know where else people have the radios, but, quite strange places. But in relation to actually playing the music, do we really know? So we test how well you actually know those music. Okay, so I'm going to play you 5 singers from the ISSA. We've got to guess who they are. So the first one is about 20 seconds of this ISSA member. Who are they?
I don't know.
That's
what you get in. I'll let you have one more guess. It's not Dimitri, but
Imran? Is it Imran?
It is not Imran. No, it is the amazing Michael Botte, who is
I
going
know
to
that.
Atlanta,
I know.
and that is Mirror by Michael Botte. So, Michael, you got away with it. Okay, so let's go for the next one. Here we go. I love it when people don't watch my videos. I can just use the same songs over and over again. Everyone in the audience is like, AJ, you done this last time. About a few episodes ago. Okay. So, here we go again.
Is that Roland Hewitt?
Is that what? Sorry.
Roland? Is it Roland?
Nope. I'll give
No?
you another guess. One more guess. That's all you're having.
Roland. Oh, you've got me on that one. I don't know.
I'm loving this. Tammy, you're going to have a word with your members when you see them. That was the amazing Tim
trouble.
Steinwook. Okay, and his latest single was Sarah Smith. If you haven't heard it, it's an absolute banger. He has also got a new single out. Please go to his Facebook site because Tim is, he basically brings them out every day of the week. So, it's hard to keep up with you, Tim, when you're bringing out your singles, just slow down a bit for us. Okay, let us listen to the first one and then bring one out. But it just shows you how powerful he is when he mixes and masters his collaboration. But yep, that one. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay. Let's go for. Okay.
Look into my eyes.
Bo Hoss?
Cool, nearly.
Huh?
Last chance. Not Bo Hoss. She's wrapping her brain, everybody.
It's not Roland.
No, that's it. Your guesses have gone. It is our amazing
I'm doing it for
milestone.
charity.
It is Wolf Milestone. Okay.
Oh, so Wolf! Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Sorry, Wolf.
Okay.
I don't know all your songs, Wolf.
The last one we are going to play is somebody from the UK. So you're going to get a bit of a. So think about all your UK artists. We don't want you to get this one wrong.
When I look in your eyes and I know what you're really thinking. When we go to a bar and you already know what I'm drinking. When we both are away and we know we don't need to worry.
Okay. That's a hard one. I think Lark is from Australia. So, I don't know. It's not Lark?
Nope. So we gave you the clue that it definitely wasn't from Australia because we said it's a UK artist. You went straight to Australia. It's the other end of the world.
I got the wrong world. See, I'm sorry. I have to start listening to my ISA playlists now.
Okay,
and check all the artists.
Okay, so that was Helena Mace, our UK country singer, an absolutely amazing artist. She is basically Helen Mace. Please look her up. She has just basically been on the Apple iTunes as a country artist and beaten the likes of Twister the movie. And she was number one, and Twister the movie was number two recently on the Apple iTunes. So an absolute powerhouse of a country artist for the UK. Definitely worth looking up. So that's 5 wrong. Okay, so this is where Vanessa's going to get excited because we are going on to questions. Let's see how well Vanessa does tonight, shall we? So we are going on to music questions this evening. 5 questions that we've got. We may do a little bit of an extra one because Vanessa's been waiting so long. Do you know your independent bands?
Do I know my independent bands? Some of them.
Some of them. Vanessa, are you quite good at independent bands? She's going, no. Okay, we're going on to independent music bands, everybody. It will basically, we're going to ask you a question. If you know the answer, please write it down and tell us whether you got it right or wrong at the end of the show. So here we go. Okay, the first one. Which group consists of Alex Turner, Jamie Cook, Nick O'Malley, and Matt Helders?
I have no idea.
Okay, you've got no idea.
Boy, I'm not doing good today.
Should we ask Vanessa to help you? Vanessa, do you know that one?
Yes, I need help.
Vanessa, do you know? No, she says no. Can't help you.
Nice soft rock band.
Okay, it is the Arctic Monkeys.
What?
Was the answer to that one? Okay, let's see what the next one is. Who is the lead singer of the Libertines? Vanessa's in the kitchen going, what?
I'm with Vanessa. I never heard of them.
Vanessa, you're normally really good. Look, our artist needs help, Vanessa. Stop feeding the
help.
seagulls.
I'm failing here.
She's too busy feeding the seagulls. She's not got her music quiz head on at all. Come on, our artist needs your help.
I need help.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the lead singer of the Libertines is... is Pete Doherty. Okay, the next one. Complete the lyric. Coming out of my cage and I'm feeling... I've got to come back to the screen. I've got to come back to life. Coming out of the cage and I'm feeling what? Like a monkey.
And I'm feeling, I don't know this. I don't know these words, these lyrics.
No, Vanessa, do you know what? No. Complete the lyric. Coming out of my cage and I'm feeling what? Just take a guess. You're feeling free. It could be feeling free. That's quite,
that's a good answer. Yeah,
that's a good answer. So feeling free, Vanessa says. I think that was a complete. And if it's right, that's a complete fluke. Let's see what the answer is, shall we, everyone?
Feeling rad.
Feeling just fine.
Just fine. Oh, and who does that?
Okay, this could be a guess. Okay, so where are the group Arcade Fire from? Vanessa's looking all confused. Same country, Vanessa. It is a difficult quiz tonight. It really is.
Especially if you don't know the group.
Exactly. If you don't know. Roseann, you didn't even know your own ISSA artist. So, you're having a bad night, dear.
I'm having a bad night. Yeah, you'll have to give me some grace today. Because I don't know all the ISA artists, just the ones that.
Vanessa, go on. Give us a country, any country. Indonesia.
Scotland.
Okay, I'm gonna go to UK. So we've got Indonesia.
Oh, it's in the UK. London. They're from London.
They are actually from Canada. Where'd you get Indonesia from? Seriously.
They have a nice
the last question. Okay, so just let everybody, if you're feeling very brave, please tell us what your scores are tonight. Let me see, and please put them in the comments, because Roseann, bless her, at the moment, we are on 0 out of 10. And so is Vanessa. She's on 0 out of 10 as well. Well, she's 0 out of 5 because she couldn't hear the music quiz. So this one, the last question of the night. Which band is Tom York the lead singer of? Do you know?
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him. Vanessa? Tom York? You know who he is? No. You are going to kick yourself. Absolutely kick yourself when I tell you the answer. Nope. It wasn't Red Hot Chili Peppers. But you're going to kick yourself. Seriously. The answer was Radiohead.
Radiohead.
I didn't know Radiohead were independent. I really didn't.
That was so long ago, though. I'm lucky if I can
didn't know they
remember
were
what I
independent.
did last year.
You learn something every day. There you go.
Every
I thought
day,
like
that's a
Radiohead, you know, they were signed up to
Quite
at least Simon Cowell.
embarrassing. Well,
That's
that's my
amazing.
embarrassing moment for today.
That's my embarrassing moment for today. Okay, so sorry, Radiohead. You know, we know that you're an amazing group. Okay, from a long,
Yes.
long time ago, but we just forgot. Anyway, everybody, you have been treated this evening to an extra extended version of One Live because we have been behind the scenes, winning awards and winning nominations and doing the Academy and God knows what else between the two of us two. Okay, but we have chatted long enough. We need to wrap this up because tomorrow night we've got an amazing show coming up. So before we say, you know, goodbye to everybody, is there anyone particularly you want to say goodbye to and anyone you want to thank for your music career?
I want to thank God first because without him, I wouldn't be able to do that. And of course, my dream team, Pete Levin and Scott Petito. I want to thank the ISA family, who are absolutely amazing. They have given me so much confidence and support and love. I want to thank them. Of course, our family and friends, all my fans, because without you, I can't do this. And all the radio DJs and promoters, my club was list, and just everybody that helps to encourage and lift us up in this indie music business. And thank you, Adrian,
Welcome.
and One
You're
Life
welcome.
for having me on. I'm so honored and to finally meet you. I can't wait to meet you in person in Atlanta.
Do you know what?
I'm
My
gonna
fingers are
make sure
crossed.
you
My
get
fingers
there.
are crossed.
We're gonna see you there.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Roseann, you've been an absolutely amazing guest. And you know what? I have got to get my head on that pillow because tomorrow night at 7:00, there apparently is going to be a whole orphanage of children ready to come and say hi to everybody in One Life as we travel to Uganda and basically meet an orphanage of children who are going to be playing live on the show tomorrow night. And we really look forward to that show. You know, we have some special shows that come on and actually do performances for us, but to have a group of kids all coming on screaming and shouting. So please make sure you got your microphones in a reasonable position tomorrow and the volumes on your TV a reasonable position because I think it's going to be a noisy one. So 7 p.m. tomorrow night with Magala Grace and his amazing kids and his amazing orphanage is coming on tomorrow night at 7:00 UK time. Please join us because it is going to be one heck of a show. Thank you so much to all of you at One Life, all of the team at One Life. You're absolutely amazing, each and every one of you. And I could not get where I am today without you. And that does include you, Tammy Dove. We're looking forward to coming to Atlanta. Please use a GoFundMe. Please use the support to the Music Trust. And we will see you tomorrow night. Take good care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Blessings.